Is it recording?
I think so.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in on today's video. Today I've got a fun and exciting video for you guys today. For all you 6th generation Camaro LT1 owners, or even people that have SS's, here we have Michael's beautiful Camaro LT1. This is obviously featured in the gorgeous rapid blue color, a color very unique to Chevrolet Performance and their performance models. And the first modification that you should start off with, and I think it's the most important thing to start off with this Camaro LT1, is upgrading your wheels and tires. More importantly, the tires. And the reason why is because from factory, these come 245s all around. So that is obviously criminal when considering that this car, the LT1, has 455 crank horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. Of course, this is rear-wheel drive setup, so I would really focus more on upgrading the rear tires more than the front. So let's just pan over here to the front tires. Michael went ahead and installed these 285 20s actually. These are 20s. And then back here, he put 305. So that's where it really counts. And 305s makes a world of a difference from 245. Whether you're trying to launch the car, drag the car, or just taking corners. I mean, it is so important to have as much meat as possible to keep you situated and of course confident when you do that. So whether you get bronze wheels or, you know, take a step back, we get to really admire how good that bronze and blue color combination goes. I actually wanted to do that on my 5th generation Camaro. Or the next modification that you guys should do, and this is often overlooked, especially if you start upgrading the width of these tires and the meat, is going to be mud flaps. It's not really going to improve the performance aspect of things, but it is going to preserve and just prolong the necessity to repair any sort of rock chips or any sort of debris on the floor that these meaty tires are going to start picking up. Now, you can just start off with here, which I think the most important thing to do is the front ones, because this is obviously, you know, all the rock is going to travel that way, and it could potentially actually hit areas like here, and so on and so forth. The ones in the back, I think, are not as important as the front ones. However, they still provide the same amount of value preserving this section here. And reason number 3, or the third modification that you guys definitely should be doing for your car, is actually going to be found in the interior. It would be to either spec out the Recaro seats or leather seats. I don't think you can actually spec out regular leather seats. You actually have to either spec out the Recaro ones or preserve the cloth seats, which from factory, there are some advantages to cloth seats. Obviously, it doesn't get as hot as leather seats do, but ultimately maintenance and all that stuff definitely overshadows all of the cons of having leather seats. But these particular ones are from Custom Interior. These seat covers are pretty easy to install. We actually have an entire install video if you guys want to check that out as a reference. And I would say that these definitely transformed the interior look. This originally came with some duotone color padding here up on the console here, actually where the transmission and the shifter is, and also on the side of the doors as well. You also have like that white, black on white panda type of color theme going on, and that's really cool. So the fact that these seats kind of like emphasize that or hyperbolize that really sits right with me, and it's something that definitely you guys should consider. You know, you don't actually have to spend the money in buying a Recaro seat or even the leather seats. You know, you can save some money with buying seat covers. You're not really committed to these seats per se, and these are transferable for other 6th generation Camaros. Okay, so the 4th modification that you guys should seriously consider for this car, this is definitely more as an aesthetic type of thing, and again, to each their own. This is something that I personally think you guys should definitely check it out, and it's really inexpensive to do so, and that's doing some aesthetic or cosmetic modifications. In this case, we started off doing the beautiful Extreme Online Store track pack spoiler, and this is just absolutely girthy. You don't have to go for something as extreme as this. This also includes the wicker bill as well, and like the seat covers, we also have an install video for you guys to reference as well. Stuff like this, like the spoiler, I think is a really important thing, because if you don't spec it out, you won't get a spoiler for these LT1s. And when you have such a large car like the Camaro that has such a beefy and muscular, you know, appearance, there's like it's an eyesore to not have anything up here. So you don't have to have a massive spoiler like this. You could have something like the 1LE spoiler, even just a regular like lid spoiler or something. That is something that you definitely should consider. And it's not like the situation where if you upgrade the spoiler and you look at it from the side or from the rear, you're gonna be disappointed because it's not beefy enough. If we take a look at the diffuser, over here, this is actually something that I really like about the 6th generation Camaro. The 5th gens used to finish right about here, and it would only cover this section. But for the 6th generation Camaro, you actually have it extending all the way over here. So it gives it so much more flair, and it looks so much more aggressive, and it's aesthetically pleasing to look at. So when you add a big spoiler like that, and you come on the side right here, and you get to observe it, it all flows nicely. And it won't prompt you, or at least for me, it wouldn't prompt me to be like, oh, now I have to buy a diffuser. You know what I mean? The back is already pretty much taken care of. Just a spoiler in itself, whatever, it helps it for downforce and whatever, but realistically the value is really gonna be in giving the back of the car a little bit more. For the best for last modification, reason, or suggestion is getting something that hyperbolizes that gorgeous and aggressive 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 sound. And actually, from the factory, you can spec out the NPP exhaust system, the dual mode exhaust system, and that's about $1,000 or so. But pretty much any other axle back is gonna run you around that 800 to 2,000 range. Anything in itself to give you a little bit more sound, you definitely need to do it, because this is just such an incredible sounding car. But just don't take it from me, take it from the car itself. Even from the factory, this OEM NPP exhaust system sounds incredible. Let me show you guys how it sounds from the outside. So as you guys can hear from the outside, that's a pretty sufficient amount of loud or exhaust feedback for something that's factory. I wouldn't really venture out and get another expensive aftermarket axleback system or catback system. I would just go ahead and get the headers, which obviously are pretty expensive to do, but just with the headers and the NPP exhaust, which will allow you to keep like that touring mode, so it's again dual mode, I think that in itself is just enough, man. All right, guys, so there you have it. That is pretty much the 5 things that you have to do as starting mods for your Camaro LT1 to really enhance not only the aesthetic appearance of the Camaro LT1, which from the factory, they look really good in themselves, but also to really give you some confidence and arguably some performance enhancements as well. All of these mods are fairly inexpensive and won't break the bank necessarily, and they will have a very good amount of bang for your buck, if you will. Guys, if you found this video informative and entertaining, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps out tremendously with the algorithm. If you enjoy my content overall and you want to see more of this Camaro LT1 or my Camaro SS, hello, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It helps out tremendously for me. And last but not least, don't forget to be a part of the notification gang so you don't miss any of the future uploads with this LT1, the SS, or any of my other car content that you guys will definitely enjoy. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.